The purpose of this video is to show a general method of installing Exteria Building Products Cedar Pride EZ composite siding. For this video, we'll use common U.S. installation techniques. Please check your local building codes for confirmation. The first step in the installation of Cedar Pride EZ is to snap a chalk line 2 inches above the lowest point of the structure. Install the top edge of the starter strip along the chalk line. The strip should be positioned 2 inches from the wall corner, allowing for the width of the corner piece. Nail the starter strip every 12 inches. Remember, always keep the starter strip level. Next, you'll want to determine the number of panels needed for the wall by dividing the total length of the wall in inches, less the width of the corner pieces used by 72 3/8 inches. Be sure the end piece is no less than 12 inches wide. You may have to adjust the starting panel to accommodate the end piece. If you're using molded Cedar Pride corners, install the corner starter clip at this time. You'll find starter clips included in each carton of Cedar Pride corners. Note that the starter clip and the starter strip are the same height and should be vertically aligned. Before fastening, make sure the starter clip opening is facing down. Once aligned, you can then attach 2 fasteners on each side of the clip. It's important to note that you do not install corners before siding. Cedar Pride corners overlap installed siding. If you're using vinyl corner posts instead of molded corners, you should install them at this time. Note, when installing vinyl corner posts, the starter strip should be positioned 4 inches from the wall corner. Exteria's Cedar Pride EZ panels can be cut randomly near the beginning of the panel. Be sure not to overlap the seams of the panel below. To ensure that a pleasing and authentic shingle look is maintained, don't cut more than 1 end piece at a time, since adjustments may be required for succeeding rows. Working from left to right, hook the first panel underneath the face of the starter strip and slide it left. You should place the panel approximately 2 inches from the corner wall. Permanently install the first panel by properly spacing the panel and install a fastener into the center pilot hole. By attaching a fastener in the center pilot hole, the panel will expand and contract evenly from the center out. This panel requires a minimum of 9 fasteners per panel. The center pilot hole must be fastened first. Fasteners must then be placed in the far left and the far right nailing slots. You can then attach 3 fasteners evenly spaced to the left of the center hole and 3 to the right of the center hole. Note that a closer spacing of fasteners is required for high-velocity wind areas. The non-corrosive fasteners must be installed into a solid substrate of no less than a ½ inch thick. Be sure that the fasteners only lightly touch the panel, thus allowing for movement during changes in temperatures. Always install the fasteners flush with the panel so it doesn't interfere with the succeeding row. Position the next panel onto the starter strip, leaving the correct temperature spacing between panels. On Cedar Pride EZ, a spacing guide mark is embossed directly on the panel flange. When installing at panel temperatures ranging from 30 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, position the next panel so its upper left edge is on the spacing line. For installations at temperatures below 30 degrees Fahrenheit, position the next panel slightly right of the line. For temperatures above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, position the panel slightly left of the line. Allow a 1/4 inch spacing around all openings, windows, gables, and tight blocks. This will compensate for expansion and contraction of the panels at different temperatures. For all succeeding courses, simply position the panel approximately 2 inches below the previous panel and slide upward into place, making sure to engage the installation fingers and the bottom locking rail. Exteria provides a horizontal alignment line on the lower right side of each panel. Refer to this line to ensure that the height of the panels is consistent as you install. As you can see, we've repeated the earlier steps to create a single row. The last panel will need to be properly cut to fit into a 10-foot corner post, individual matching corner, or J-channel. Be sure that the right end piece of the row is a minimum of 8 inches wide. When completing a wall and a partial panel is used, remember to drill a new center hole. To create the most pleasing and authentic-looking installation, the length of the starting panel of each successive row should be varied by cutting the panel at a random distance from the beginning. To achieve the desired look, it's recommended to randomly select a shingle on the panel and cut the shingle in half on alternating rows, thereby avoiding vertical seam alignment with the panel below. Also, after the first row is installed, and you start installing panels on each of the successive rows, it's important to step back and take a look at each panel as you install it, to ensure that you're not overlapping vertical seams of the panel below. When completing a wall, face nailing may be required. If face nailing is required, pre-drill a hole in an inconspicuous area, such as a shingle seam. The hole must be larger than the shank of the nail or screw, but smaller than the head to allow for possible expansion. Cover with matching paint. Exterior J-channels may be used for inside corner treatments. It's recommended to sleeve the corner with aluminum coil prior to installation of panels. If using Cedar Pride corners, remember that Cedar Pride EZ panels must be installed on all walls prior to installing the corners. To install the corners, be sure the corner starter clip is affixed at the bottom of the wall's corner. Then slide your first corner over the siding and engage it up into the starter clip. The top edge of the corner slides under the row of siding above it. The Cedar Pride molded corner offers 2 fastener openings from which to choose. Select the position that's most suitable for your installation. Once positioned properly, insert 1 fastener on each side of the corner. Please note that the bottom edge of the first installed corner extends below the starter clip. Gently tug the bottom of the corner to ensure it's properly engaged. Repeat this step until the corner installation is complete. The last corner on the top of the row may have to be cut to adjust to the height of your corner. Please remember that the corner and panel alignment will vary based on the realistic, staggered bottom edges of the panel. For more detailed installation procedures, please refer to the installation guidelines on or in each carton of exterior siding. For additional information, log on to our website at www.exteriobp.com.